and I'd like to talk about the user story I worked on, which is UserStory 697, which is implement adding objects to the cauldron. Now, this project itself was created using Agile Scrum, which it has Scrum meetings amongst the team. And during these meetings, my task was to talk about the work that I did, and most of the work that I did focused on the for loop puzzle, or puzzle 1. Now the key thing with this puzzle is that we have right here, we have a cauldron, and this cauldron needs to identify potions that are being added to it and keep track of which potion is added. The way that I did that was through this implementation that we have here, right there, which what it does is that it checks what type of object it is. If it's a potion, it flags it, and then it removes the object from play. And the way that it does that is that it gets the actor, which triggers the event, which you can see here, and then that's how we get that information, and then we check it. Now, some of the acceptance criteria is that the object needs to be placed in the cauldron. Then the cauldron recognizes the type of object. It keeps a record of the object if it's a potion, and deletes the object as well. And it warns the user if an incorrect object is added to the cauldron. And the user is the only one who actually interacts with the cauldron. And this would be the sequence diagram, where the user moves an object to the cauldron checks what the object is, the system lets the cauldron know what kind of object it is, whether it's a potion or if it's a repeated potion. An error message is displayed, and if it's the right potion, it sets the flag and it removes the potion from play. And here we have the class diagram for this use case, in which we have whether it's a repeated potion, not a potion, red, blue, the message, so on and so forth. The way that I tested this use case or user story is by checking to see what kind of object is placed on the actual cauldron, whether the object is flagged if it is a potion, and if the object is actually removed from play. And now I'm going to demonstrate very quickly. I'm going to have that right here, and then I will play. So on the bottom right, you should see my blueprints, and you'll see a highlighted line as it goes through the code. So I did that very quickly, but if you can notice, it actually did this. It went through here, here, and then outside here, which means that the event was triggered. I went to check the object, which we can see here. And what it did is that it got the name of the object, and then it compared it to what kind of object it was, whether it's a blue potion or a red potion. Then, once it did that comparison, it then checked to see if a blue or a red potion was already set, which is what's happening right here. If it was already set, then if it wasn't already set, then it continues to flag the potion. But if it was already set, then it exits. Then on flag potion, what it does is that it checks again to see what kind of tag it is, and then it sets the flag. Once it sets the flag, it actually, quote unquote, destroys it. What is actually happening is that the object is being teleported to a separate part of the level so that it works well with the highlighting that's already implemented. And here you see how it spawns the object in a different location. To see the puzzle in action, we pick up a potion, we place it on the cauldron, and it disappears. It actually gets teleported behind this wall. If I try to add another potion, nothing happens, and that's because it already has a blue potion. Now I can add a red one, and it also disappears. And if I try to add another red one, nothing happens again. Now that these two flags are set, if I were to actually activate it, it will use my other user story, which is what happens when you activate the cauldron, and it changes effect. You can see the blue lights. And that's it. Thank you very much for your time.